War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by TagMeADate. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the War Report After Dark. We had another big week in pro wrestling. A lot to talk about, as always. Vince will be on momentarily, and you never know who else is going to drop on in. But welcome to another edition of the War Report. Our good friend, as always, a certain David Rosca, started off with the comments early, which we always appreciate. David Rosca, Bianca Belair is the modern day Simone Biles of the women's division. So David's saying that Bianca Belair is the greatest of all time because Simone Biles is considered to be the greatest of all time. I don't know that I could say that yet, especially when you have a division with Charlotte. I mean, to me, Charlotte, I think, is the greatest wrestler in the women's division right now, just my opinion. So I don't know, but Bianca's awesome. I'll never take anything away from Bianca. Bianca Belair is back. She will be the next women's champion. I am glad Bianca is back. And she actually seemed like she had a little bit of an edge on her, which is cool. I personally would love to see her be a part of the new Hurt Business. I mean, we really haven't gotten a name yet, but we'll just call it Hurt Business 2.0. But I would love to see her in there. I think to have a woman in there, plus everybody knows that she's married to one of the prophets. So I would love to see that. I think that would be huge. I've been saying that for a long time. So I hope that's something that happens. We'll have to see. Hank over on Facebook, Vince is the GOAT. Vince appreciates that. Vince is the GOAT. I think he is the GOAT, especially in the Northeast. And he should be on shortly, so I will pass along the messages, although he'll see it. And then we have a Facebook user who says no, not sure. I'm sure it has to do with either Charlotte or responding to David. We'll have to see. So we had a real big week in pro wrestling, as we typically do. But we really should start off with a little bit of SmackDown because we finally got the announcement. We're going to get LA Knight versus Roman Reigns for the title at Crown Jewel. And I'm kind of on the fence. Not sure how I feel about it. Vince has excellent timing because I'm definitely going to want his input on this one. How are you, sir?
Oh, great. How's it going, man?
It's going, brother. Glad you're here. I was just setting up to talk about the opening of SmackDown, which ultimately gave us the news that we are now getting LA Knight versus Roman for the title at Crown Jewel. And I don't know exactly how I feel about it. Part of me is okay with it. Part of me thinks, I don't know, are we rushing it? I don't think LA Knight goes over.
Oh, no.
So part of me says, okay, well, he's on such a tear right now. Can he afford a loss like that? I think he can. I don't think the loss would hurt him. If anything, I think it could actually help him. I think it could propel him a little bit even further. My whole theory still is that he's your guy to win the Royal Rumble. So he doesn't need to win this one. Like, I think he's winning the Rumble. That's
But then who's he facing?
Rollins? Well, but that's the thing, right? Because there are quite a few variables to that. It could be Cody, it could be The Rock, it could be LA Knight. So you don't really know which way this is going to go. You now have we're jumping all over the place. Now you got Cody Rhodes going against Damian Priest at Crown Jewel. How much do you want to bet before this match starts they're putting the briefcase on the line?
Oh.
And what if Cody is now your new Mr. Money in the Bank? Because I don't see him losing to Damian Priest at Crown Jewel. So there's a lot of things to kind of break down. And that's why I'm kind of, even with going into this match with Roman LA, are they moving too fast with it? I don't know. I like the promo, like the opening segment was great on SmackDown, even with him and Roman the week before. This week with Heyman, right. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm there with you because I don't know if it's saying it's too soon might be a weird way to go, but I know what you mean. Because in my mind, you don't want this guy challenging for a title unless you're going to pull the trigger on him winning and being a top guy. But here we are.
But wouldn't it mean so much more if he did it at Mania? We're so close to Mania at this point.
But that's why he's not going to win. I mean, listen.
But that's why. Why put him in this? You know what I mean?
They do this a lot with guys that they shouldn't. But
I mean, listen, it's probably not going to end clean. So I mean, listen, even if it did end clean, it's not going to hurt LA Knight to lose the title match. It's Roman Reigns.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, I'm excited to see it. I don't know which way it's going to go, other than I know that Roman's not losing, or at least not losing the belt.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it could just be one of those things where WWE likes to put challengers that are hot, up for a title when they shouldn't put them up for it, just because they're like hot, but they have no intention to change the title. So, it will be a fuck finish, and it's not going to be happening there. The speculation is that either Cody finishes the story with this Roman Reigns thing, or The Rock comes back. So it would seem like LA Knight winning is not the solution. You know what I mean? Like that Crown Jewel, it just doesn't seem like it. Even when you say he's going to win the Royal Rumble, I mean, I hope so. But I mean, it just feels like it's going to be another, year of the roller coaster. Like it's just going to be.
Well, my thing is
the Cody show.
If LA Knight wins the Rumble, he gets the main event.
Yeah.
But at that point, it could be Rollins. It doesn't have to be Roman. Or whoever is holding that title. It may not still be Rollins.
So let me pose this to you. Is this your concern here? Or am I getting close to it? They're taking a guy like LA Knight who shouldn't be in a position to lose a big title match like this, and he's probably going to lose a big title match. Are you concerned that the fans have gotten behind them and they've gotten him to this moment, and then he's going to be like really over like Sami Zayn, and then as soon as he loses, he's just going to fucking lose steam? Like, you think the crowd's not going to get behind him after a big loss like that? Or
well, see, that's what I can't. That's what I don't know, because, like I said before too, this could also be good for him. I think a lot of it is going to be dictated with how the crowd reacts, and I think a lot of it is going to come down to how the finish of the match is. Are you feeling for LA Knight? Like, are you with his anger for getting screwed, or whatever it is? But then part of me also says, well, if he gets screwed, then that's a lane to keep it going. So it's just so hard. This we've been saying this for a while, and it's not a bad thing. this can go so many different ways that you just don't know which way they're going to go, and that's a good thing because it's not predictable. Like the only thing predictable in my head is LA Knight losing that match.
Yeah,
that there is no doubt in my mind. The tribal chief is winning in Saudi Arabia. That if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't see his streak ending in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel at 1:00 in the afternoon Eastern time.
you say that, but they did that with. I know he had to leave. I know
they did it with Rollins and Fiend. I know. Me and
Yeah.
Al were debating this the other day.
Good.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. But see, Al is also on the side of there's no way in hell Roman's losing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I was actually the one coming at him saying, well, listen, a big title usually does change hands, and the world title has changed hands. And he goes, it's never changed hands. And I said, Rollins and Fiend. He goes, oh, all right. So, I don't know. David, what's up, Vince? Bianca Belair is back. Bianca Belair will be the next women's champion.
Maybe. I mean, unfortunately, because she came back, she's got a little ways to climb up the charts, so to speak.
I want to see her join Hurt Business 2.0. That's what I was
saying. That would be
before.
Interesting. Do you want to?
And if you even noticed, she came back with a little bit of an edge too. LA Knight will beat Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel for the Undisputed Championship. David Roscoe, my friend, I do not.
David's staying positive for you.
He's taking his stance. I have to disagree. I don't see it happening.
I love that you're an LA Knight fan, but even you are like, nah, he's not winning this one.
I mean,
I think David's keeping the faith here for you.
He is, and I appreciate him. But I mean, look, the reality is I wouldn't be upset if LA Knight won. Of course I would,
Right, of course.
But I just don't see it happening right now. I don't see Roman losing the title. I don't see Roman losing the title before WrestleMania. Now, I could be very wrong, but my gut says he's holding it until Mania. A reign like this, in my opinion, should be able to go till WrestleMania.
Right. But then does that in and of itself become predictable that the long reign that's worth losing at WrestleMania? Oh, wow, look at this guy. He lost at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Does that make it almost too predictable?
Yeah. I mean, well, listen, in pro wrestling, there are things that sometimes are predictable. And then we bitch and complain that it was predictable. But, I don't know. But yeah, that would be pretty predictable, I guess.
That's funny.
It's very hard to tell. All right, moving on. You had Santos Escobar versus Montez Ford in a singles match.
Yeah.
Actually, really good match. Montez got over, and then there was a beatdown afterwards, and then Carlito came in for the save. Mm-hmm. Carlito was wearing an LWO shirt, so I imagine he's officially a part of the LWO.
And that LWO is actually still a thing. That's good.
It is. It's still a thing. They're selling a lot of merch, too, apparently.
That's even better. I mean, I think once you have the...
I think they're even selling Zelina's single moccasin,
Oh, that's great. Just one? Just to hit somebody with... Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But I think they're going to have, especially since they have the LWO logo with different heritage flags behind it, that's going to sell. Because if you're Mexican, you get it. You get the Mexican flag, Puerto Rican, get a Puerto Rican flag, whatever. That's big business.
Oh, yeah. So
it's just weird it took so long. Carlito's been gone for almost 20 years.
Well, we were talking about this when he made his return. I couldn't believe it was that long.
I know.
I'm glad he's back, and we're going to get his first real big match. I think next week or this week. So it's good to see him back. John Cena came out, did what John Cena does. Came out, cut a promo, a great promo, and was kind of talking about how he hasn't really won any matches and that, he's thinking about retiring. And the crowd was awesome. I mean, the crowd was chanting the entire time, "Thank you, Cena." And, you still got it and like all that shit. And then he kind of was like, yeah. And then ultimately that led to Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso and yeah, and then chaos ensued.
Chaos ensued. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Cena got the best of them, and blah blah blah.
Well, he posted a on Instagram. He posted the scene because he always when he posts on Instagram, he doesn't put any captions. It's up to you. He's like a weird guy on Instagram. He like posts cryptic stuff that you're supposed to like follow along and figure out. And he posted again with no caption or nothing. It was either a video or a screenshot from Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio says he's not leaving because there was speculation that he's leaving due to the actor strike because he said it at that press conference. But I guess at least maybe he's got some more inside information that we don't. And he says he's sticking around at least for the moment.
I mean, yeah, he's and he's been at what? He's been at every show.
Yeah, definitely has. So I mean, that's great that he has been at every show as well. Like,
all right, well, moving through SmackDown.
Yeah.
You had Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul face to face. Logan Paul came out and cut another great promo. He really did. He shit all over the fucking guy he boxed the week before.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know they're putting this fucking title on this kid. You know it.
I definitely believe that Logan Paul is winning the U.S. title,
especially after Monday. But we'll get to that.
Right, we'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, it was a great promo. Then Ray came out. To me, Ray still just doesn't. He's just not a great talker. But they did their thing. They shook hands. Nobody threw punches during that. But it got me excited for the match. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think it's gonna go down pretty good. We'll see. But I do agree. I think he's winning the US title. I do. And the only thing that I don't love about it, because I'm becoming a fan of Logan Paul. I've said it. I respect what he's been able to do. But do we want to put the U.S. title on somebody that's not committed to be there week after week after week? Like, are we going to get another situation where the title's not being defended for months at a time? That's my only concern. If he's like, give me the belt and I'm committed to be there every week, every pay-per-view, I mean, then I'm all good for it,
Right. Huh. I think, yeah, I'm up and down on this thing because it's also like I have no problems with what he's doing in a WWE ring. He works hard. Excuse me. David calling out that Logan Paul's not going to win it. We'll see, man. I feel like they're, especially after Monday, man. I just feel like they're setting the shit up.
There's a lot of disagreement with David Roska today.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, listen, that's what keeps the conversation
makes it interesting.
Going. Only because, and the only reason I say, here's the thing. I like what he's doing in a WWE ring. He trains hard. He wrestles good matches. He pulls off moves that a rookie, novice person shouldn't necessarily be able to pull off. He cuts promos, whatever he can talk. But, he's a real asshole in real life and just not somebody that I want to support financially with my dollars and my viewing time and all that. You know what I mean? Like he's doing everything right in terms of wrestling, but then just like, I don't know, his other shit's pretty whack. Him and his brother is as good as they are at boxing, which that's up for debate, I guess, because boxing people don't really take them seriously, but they do sell a lot of pay-per-views. The idea is that they're kind of fighting bad competition, like guys who used to be like basketball players or guys who used to be MMA fighters, not necessarily like good boxers. Dylan Dennis, the last guy, is so bad he's ready. They dropped him from his fight camp, but that's just because they literally fight jobbers to sell these pay-per-views, but it is what it is. So I'm a little torn on it, but like there's no doubt he gets a reaction. There's no doubt that he's a current celebrity. He's a current guy. He's young. He's got a good look. The young people know who he is, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like, it's all set up. The stars have aligned.
Yeah, I do. I definitely think he's going to be your new U.S. title. I just hope he's around. I hope he's around, and I hope he's defending it. And I'm not asking you to go to house shows,
Right.
but
Yeah. But he should be. Yeah.
But you should every now and then, if they're at the Garden or they're at like a big venue, you should fucking show up, But let's see how dedicated he is, and let's see if we're right and they're actually going to give him the belt. But I'll tell you what, who else impressed me on SmackDown?
Who's that?
Cameron Grimes and Dragon Lee. So it looks like they're starting to team them. And I don't know if it's going to like become a team, but like they were doing tag team stuff together. And Cameron Grimes, I've always been impressed with him, but I was more than impressed on SmackDown this week. And they went over on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which I'm always for that. So, but it was very impressive.
Dude, Cameron Grimes, he was a guy, he's one of those North Carolina guys that came out of high spots. Cedric Alexander, Caleb Conley, the Man Scout, Jake Manning, Cameron Grimes. There's a couple guys that came out. There was a guy called Shivas Jr., and I don't know what he's doing now, but I know he was fantastic. Like, there were some really good wrestlers coming out of North Carolina indies. Still are. I mean, I just mean at the time I'm talking about, probably 10 or so years ago. And High Spots had the training school. I think they still have a training school. Man Scout does something for AEW. I think he works on the merchandise side. And he still wrestles. Andy does stand up. Caleb Conley's been with Impact for years. Cedric and the Carolina Caveman there have made it to WWE. Cameron Grimes took off over the pandemic and really has just rode that, and he's still hot. He's still good, and
he's great in the ring.
He's a good right. And that's the thing. You look at the guy, and not that he's not in shape, because he is, but he's like one of those. He's like a wiry, sinewy. He's like a gypsy boxer or something. You know what I mean? He's not like a guy. He has this build of like somebody who spent his time building like moving carnival equipment and putting together like a Ferris wheel and then breaking it down at the end of the weekend. And he's just jacked from doing like manual labor. And he seems like, but it's like a throwback to, I love that. And then he wrestles, like, he doesn't just wrestle like an old school guy. He wrestles, he does modern moves. He's got a good move set. He's fluid. He gets good height on stuff. Like, I've seen him get good height on jumps and like knees and springboard stuff that stomps. I've seen him get height on some stomps. That's just crazy. So yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. And the two of them together was great. I mean, Dragon Lee is he's another one that is incredible. He's going to be your next Rey Mysterio. I mean,
what's in the water? Well, we gotta. Mystico just wrestled on AEW the other day, and that was supposed to be the next Rey Mysterio. So we got to cool our jets. I'm on the Dragon Lee train, but you never know what happens. However, to comment on that, fucking Mystico and Rocky Romero put on a hell of a 2 out of 3 falls match. Mystico won. They were in Texas. They were near the Mexican border. Mystico. I'm talking about the guy that we watched as Sin Cara bounce on a trampoline and like sucked.
Yeah.
He comes out and it's like Jesus Christ entered the building. I'm not joking. These people love him. He is a legit, and he was beforehand, and now, and during his WWE career, I guess it wasn't as good, but now he's built back up to that level where he's like a legit lucha legend. It's nice to see because he did so poorly in WWE, but he's like kicking ass. And then, I mean, what's in the water in Mexico? You've got on the AEW, you've got Mystico, you've got Commander, you've got Gravity, you've got Drilistico, who's the other guy who used to play Mystico when Mystico became Sin Cara. Like, you've got all these really, really good Lucha Libre wrestlers that are now making their way into the United States. It feels like we hadn't had that since ECW and WCW.
Right.
Maybe a little bit with TNA.
There was no platform for them. Now there is, because Tony Khan is giving them a platform.
And it's also the things have changed even since, a lot since the ECW, WCW days, even like demographics wise, where there are way more Hispanic viewers of wrestling, at least in the United. I'm taking from a U.S. perspective. There's always the same number of Hispanic viewers internationally in Hispanic countries, but I mean, just in the U.S., I mean, it's blown up because you have the Latin heritage of Mexico, but then there's a big wrestling culture in Puerto Rico. There's big wrestling cultures in Hispanic communities all over the world, and now you're starting to see that in the U.S. They're like, hey, we're catching on. Internationally, these lucha libre guys that Vince McMahon really I never understood this. You can sell masks, you can sell t-shirts with the mask. They put Rey Mysterio's mask on everything, but he didn't want to hire these masked guys.
Yeah, you know what it is with Vince, he's a very big believer in facial expressions is everything.
Right.
And when you're wearing the mask, you can't do that. Rey Mysterio, for example, had no choice because Rey Mysterio made a name for himself before he ever made it to WWE. So if you wanted Rey Mysterio, you were bringing in Rey Mysterio, and he's not taking off the mask for you. You know what I mean? But I think that's where that comes from. But yeah, I think it's stupid. And now there's a platform for them, and that's why you're seeing a lot more of them. And that gap of time is the time that they were perfecting their craft in Mexico, and now they're ready. And we're going to be very entertained on both shows wherever they go.
Yeah. I like that little guy Gravity. Have you seen him on AEW? Yes. Oh my God.
He's another one that blows my mind.
And he does the robot walk, but it's like the moon bounce gravity walk, but it's like, oh, it's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Women's championship match.
The Rhea Ripley one?
This was Io Sky versus Charlotte Flair.
I thought you were talking about the upcoming one, the in-ring thing we had. No,
we'll get to that.
This here, yes.
Another great match. Great match. Charlotte loses. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I listen. I'm okay.
Io looked great. I thought the finish was great. The match was great. I liked the outside shenanigans with Bayley as always. I thought it was great, and that's pretty much how they ended the show.
Yeah, and my usual rule, if regular listeners will hear, is you never bet against Charlotte Flair on a pick'em. But regulars TV doesn't count. SmackDown doesn't count. Pay-per-views, you don't really bet against Charlotte Flair. I don't know if this is leading to her having a three-way against Bayley and Io, or what they're going to do with that. Hey, Autumn. Autumn's in the comments. Autumn hates Charlotte. That's fair, because
that is not fair to Flair.
Oh, there's Steve. Oh, Steve. Oh, Charlotte is overrated. Damn, Autumn is going in right now.
I will very much disagree with that statement.
I mean, she's not
very much so.
She's just over pushed sometimes. At least she didn't win. Like my biggest issue with whatever would happen on that show, the Friday night show last Friday was that she'd kind of win unceremoniously on a Friday. So nice to know that they didn't do that. And I know they're probably setting up a pay-per-view match down the line, but I'd like to see Io keep running with this title because I think she's having a good run.
And I'm glad they're giving her the run.
Yeah. Because
my biggest fear was that it was going to be the typical.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right.
Fair another fair one. Okay, overpush. They use her so much, she gets boring. I see. Well, unfortunately, she just came back from injury, so they're going to use her a lot, at least for the time being. Oh, my God. How does it feel to get shoes to Autumn? That was something else. Yeah, Autumn, I guess your mom's still on the phone. She must be still on the phone. Otherwise, she'd be on the show with us. But that's cool. Thank you for sharing your hatred of Charlotte. Just freedom of speech. I don't know how you know that. Have you seen how the show works? This is the United States of Steve, man. This ain't.
That's right. I run this.
He runs the show. He can literally push a button and stop the show. What are we doing?
I can. Acknowledge
me.
Yo, what if you just bounced her out of the chat and she couldn't count? That would be. I don't do it, but it would be just so funny if all of a sudden she first time in 5 years, Mr. Raw. Wow. No, you're not getting bounced. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not gonna do it. First time in 5 years. Yeah. I couldn't, honestly, I could tell it was probably, boy, the last time I sat down and watched a full WWE show, like a cable show, was either a Raw or an NXT, right around the time that not Halloween Ends, but Halloween Kills came out. Because like that was when I think the Chucky show. Oh, I know what it was. It was the first Halloween Havoc where Chucky made an appearance and talked to Braun Breaker. Right around then was probably the last time I watched a full Raw or NXT or SmackDown. A full one. I don't have that kind of time.
Well, let's get into Raw. I didn't think it was the best Raw. I didn't think it was terrible. I did enjoy the segment of the contract signing with the women. That was done a little different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was different.
So I enjoyed that. Here's one thing that I is blowing my fucking mind.
Oh yeah, what's up?
I'm dying to know what the fuck Zoe Stark has done since coming to the main roster that warrants her to get a women's fucking title shot.
Oh yeah.
Out of all the women, Zoe Stark, are you fucking kidding me? I don't know. I don't agree with that. I mean, she's obviously not going to win, but come on. What do you think with that one?
Listen, your feud with Zoe Stark has been ongoing.
This Facebook user says Zoe Stark still wrestles for WWE.
That's got
unfortunately, on. Is it on him? How does she not know that?
I think she's being sarcastic and
she should have gotten released.
Right? Yeah. Yes. See, there you go. That's the follow-up comment.
I agree.
Yeah. I know you. That's what you were talking about. I don't know. I've seen it's one of those things where she is serviceably fine. Probably somebody that shows up on time, all that other stuff, is a nice, probably a nice person backstage, does what they're told, even if it's silly, doesn't really argue, whatever, but she's fine. Like Natalia. Like Natalia's fine. I'd say she's even good as a, good to almost great as a wrestler, but is just serviceably like you could pop in anybody where her spot is. And this is the same thing with Zoe Stark. You could pop some lower level NXT girl into this spot and it would just be the same story. I think they just use her because she's on the roster. Like, it's just one of those things. She's on the roster, so they use her, and they use her so she's on the roster. Now,
I don't have a problem with them using her, but not for a women's title shot.
Yeah,
she's like Eva Marie 2.0. No one cares. Oh, we agree.
Yeah, but Eva Marie 2.0 would mean she's like,
well, I guess that's
dirt worst. Is she the dirt worst? You wrestler, like wrestling wise, compared? I gotta know.
Wrestling wise, she's not like the worst for sure.
Okay. Yeah, man. A world title. I feel like this might be my conspiracy here. If we're thinking this, they know we're thinking this. There has to be something going on, right? There has to be because it's Zoe Stark, Trish Stratus is going to come out, or it's not about her. Like, she's going to get the shit kicked out of her, and then like Jade is going to come out. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's just being used as all right, we have to have a match, but we don't want somebody who has a good like name or a winning streak or something.
But see, I'd be saying the same thing if it like if they like out of nowhere announced that Jade is in it.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed about it. What the fuck has she done to get a women's title match? You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that she's going to wrestle in the match. What I'm saying is like this match is going to happen and it's going to be inconsequential because it's going to last like 2 minutes and then something big's going to happen afterward.
Oh, well, I could see that.
Like, even if Trish Stratus came back, Zoe Stark wouldn't win the title. That wouldn't make, female Goldberg. Jeez, Autumn is on a tear against Zoe Stark. Is she that bad? Like, I guess I'll have to watch some stuff, recent stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how you
Female
compare her to Goldberg.
Goldberg at least was over.
Right.
Might not be able to wrestle. What was the next? What was the next segment?
That wasn't even in order. Well, so Logan Paul came out on
Oh
Raw.
yes, yep.
You wanted to get into that, and then
Yeah.
Dominic came out.
Right. See, that's
The
what I
two
wanted
of them together was. Oh, look who it is!
Oh boy, speak of the devil, it's Autumn and Kat. All right, hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, we got a 2-for-1 special.
She just yelled at me. She goes, "They want to know if you're done." I said, "If I just came out of my office, I'm obviously done."
All I asked was if you were on the phone. I wasn't like rushing you or anything. It was merely asking a question.
Please, I would have much rather have been here than what I've been doing for the last hour.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah, that was the last thing I said. Female Goldberg.
Oh, Zoe Stark. Okay, got it.
Wow, Kat wasn't even listening, and she knows what's up. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll briefly get it. What are your thoughts on Zoe Stark there, Kat? Since your daughter has already made her opinions clear.
She needs to go.
She's a
therapy.
That too. That's her.
What do you think about this whole Zoe Stark challenging for a world championship next week?
What I'm saying is, what the fuck did she do to warrant a women's title match?
She was irrelevant in NXT. She's going to be irrelevant on the main roster.
I'm trying to figure out what half of them have warranted to do in that match.
I'm good with all of them except Zoe Stark.
I'm not feeling the whole Nia Jax thing either.
Nia Jax?
I'm good with Nia Jax. Here's why.
No.
I'll tell you why. With Zoe, she's been on the main roster for 10 fucking minutes, coming out of NXT, and right away she's getting a women's title match. Nia Jax has been in the company and out of the company, but she's been around for a while. She's a former women's champion.
Right.
And it'll be great to see her get her ass whooped. You got some big ass women in that match between Rhea, Gonzalez, and Nia. It should be entertaining to watch. Zoe Stark is just a shit stain.
Shayna's in there.
See what they're going to put Nia in though in Saudi Arabia. Her gear is going to be
playlist.
Her gear is
they all have to be covered up.
Kat, I got it. I know exactly what they're going to do. You're going. You and Steve are going to remember this. Now Autumn's not. Wimpy, 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 hefty, hefty, hefty.
They're gonna put her in a trash can. The Hefty trash bag. There was a John Cena commercial, and he sponsored Hefty.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah, but no, the bags used to rip in the old commercials.
The old commercials to show how durable Hefty was, and that. So I think they have to use the Hefty bag because I feel like she's going to be running or at least moving a lot in this match, so she needs to keep.
I really hope we get another My Hole meme because that was the funniest thing.
Don't give Steve any ammo.
My Hole 2.0. Uh-oh. You done said it.
Oh, thank you.
He'll do that too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tag game was my favorite.
Freaking Ryan.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we can all easily agree that Zoe Stark does not belong
in WWE Point Blank period.
Now, what about because Shayna's in the match as well, right? Shayna Baszler.
She's in WWE still.
She needs a good match,
right?
After what happened with the whole Ronda Rousey thing. So
yeah, I feel bad because and then Ronda announced her retirement from WWE and MMA, and is just like, okay, I'm done.
I would announce I'm leaving after that shit too.
Yeah, but you think you want to go out on a high note?
She wants to raise her kid.
Listen. I get it. I mean, she doesn't. She made her money. She's set. She used to fucking live in a car, and now she's a millionaire. She's all set.
More power to her. It just sucks that was her.
That was it. Really just sucks. It was the last match.
Yeah.
And then, but that the Dominic Logan Paul segment
was great.
That was good.
That was what I opened the show by my opinion of Logan Paul's. After Monday night, Logan Paul is winning that U.S. title. Just I don't know, that sealed it. That the crowd reaction for the Dominic and Logan Paul segment, where Dominic talked about Rey Mysterio being a deadbeat dad, and Logan Paul saying that Dominic's going to be the only Mysterio with a title next week. All this stuff. It's I just feel like it has to be Logan Paul. It just seems like they're I don't want to say they're telegraphing, but they're kind of telegraphing that this is happening. What do you think? You guys are muted.
She needed a definition of what telegraphing means.
Oh, all right, yeah. That's
If
fine.
Logan Paul wins, I'll be happy because I love Logan Paul and like I've spent like so much money on Prime. Like I love Prime so much.
This is this thing again we were talking, Steve and I were talking about before everybody on the show is I understand that kids Autumn's age, there's like an age range that loves Logan Paul.
It's like from 13 to like 17. I'm 15.
Right. See, you're right in the middle of that. And then there's the rest of us who like think he's the biggest ball bag on the earth.
I've been watching Logan Paul since I was like 6 years old though.
Yeah, see, I don't have the brand loyalty that you do to him. But that's the thing. That's why
I didn't know what brand loyalty was at 6 years old.
Nah, but you were still getting it. That's how they get you. They get you early. But I think with all of that, all of the stuff I'm talking about, especially after Monday night with the way that the boos came in and just, oh my God, I think that's it. I think they at least have to try it. They can always have him lose the title, but I think they at least have to try it and see how it goes.
Like I said before, I personally have no problem with Logan Paul winning the U.S. title. I don't.
Right.
However, he has to be around. I don't want a U.S. title that's going to wrestle and then disappear for 3 months and do other shit. If he's going to be committed and he's going to show up week after week and do pay-per-views, like I said before, I'm not looking for him to do house shows. Right. Although if they wound up going to the Garden, you may want to show up because it's the Garden or, whatever. But I don't know. If he's committed that way, I'm good with it. If he's going to win and then disappear for months, I'm not good with it. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like he said in his promo, he had said, like, I am a WWE superstar. I think he's, like, going to take a break from, like, the whole boxing thing. And, like, obviously he'll still have his podcast and everything, but I think he's actually, like, going to, like, stay around for a while, apparently.
And like I said, if he's going to be around, I'm good with it. I think it's good for business to have him as a U.S. title because he's going to bring people in to watch. Even people that don't currently watch, they're going to watch.
Like, I got a whole bunch of my friends, like, at school. I was talking about how Logan Paul was in WWE, and I got a whole bunch of my friends hooked on it. Like, every time there's a pay-per-view on, me and my best friend Bradley, we do, like, me, Bradley, and Mom, we just sit here and just talk about it. Like, we do predictions and everything, and then we do points.
Yeah, she's making me do a pick-em with high school kids now.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
And wait,
speaking of which, Ryan's been slacking because I haven't seen a pick 'em in.
We still don't know who won last year's.
That's true. What the hell?
I won.
Well, no, he just wants to get rid of the Divas belt.
Can I have the Divas belt? I will actually
Is it still there? See, is it in the background somewhere?
I don't have it.
Oh, Ryan has it. Okay.
Ryan has it.
Ryan has it.
I don't care. I want the Divas belt. Like, you don't understand. I want the Divas.
The butterfly belt.
You do know it's the butterfly one, and it's not a real one. It's
I don't care.
One.
She was obsessed with AJ Lee when AJ had it.
AJ Lee was literally anytime anyone mentions AJ Lee, I flip out. Or like, I don't know why I get so emotional talking about AJ Lee. Like, she inspired me a lot, honestly, growing up.
Really?
Really,
Nice.
like I would skip around the house when I'd get off the bus. I'd skip back home. Like I skipped.
She was AJ Lee for Halloween like at least 3 years in a row.
No.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was AJ Lee in 2014. In 2015, I was
Alexa
Bliss. In 2016, I was Alexa Bliss. And then 2017, I was Harley Quinn.
Oh, wow.
AKA
Okay.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah,
Exactly.
AKA just another Alexa Bliss cosplay. But
And
that's
I had a shirt that said Little Miss Sparkle Bliss. Literally.
That's great.
Well, all right. Very cool. What else happened on Raw?
Oh, man. It's a 3-hour show, brother.
Was Cody on? No.
Well,
yeah.
sure he was.
So
Cody in the beginning,
Cody got injured.
No!
Well,
No.
no.
I'm sure it's a work. Calm it down.
He fucking limped out at the end of the show anyway, too, to still,
Right.
you know what I mean? So he still made an appearance.
Oh, okay.
He's
But
fine.
yeah, but he
I
got
don't care.
beat up. And then
Shared
Wait, who'd he get beat up by?
Damian Priest.
Was JD there?
Damian Priest
Oh
and
my gosh, he's so irrelevant.
She can't
They
stand
set up-
JD McDonough.
they set
I
up
agree.
Damian Priest versus Cody at Crown Jewel.
Aha.
And I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if before we see that match, the briefcase gets put on the line.
That's
And,
what.
and Cody Rhodes now becomes your Money in the Bank.
Jeez. Yeah. I don't know. That's not a terrible theory, but like also, damn, what does that do for
Not yet. She did not
Damian
have-
Priest? Okay, so yeah. So speaking of Alexa, did she have her baby yet? No.
She's due in December.
I hope she's a Christmas baby.
Oh my god.
How?
It would be like a Hallmark movie.
Carmella's due soon too.
She is due soon.
Hey, if you want to have a baby, just wrestle Asuka.
That's the rumor.
That's true.
She's got
That
fertility
was a
idol.
rumor going around for a while.
2 years. Started with Becky, right?
Yeah.
But
Becky. Then it was.
So Crown Jewel.
Yep.
oh geez,
So-
yeah. Let's get this crown jewel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up.
Can
the,
you like settle down just a
I
little?
think we pretty much went through, I think, most of the card anyway.
Yeah, we probably did. I just want to make sure I'm not missing
Let's
anything.
make sure
here.
we're not missing.
LA Night.
Happening at the Mohammed Abdu Arena. Let's see here. Scrolling. 5 matches announced. Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest with no stipulation.
Cody.
Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. I mean, I'm just gonna read them off real quick, just because I guess we'll go down the line. So Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest. We were just talking about this. It's just a singles match. But hey, all right, David Roska checking in.
No.
She's no Trish Stratus. I agree.
Nia Jax, according to David, Nia Jax. This is a quote. I'm just quoting. Nia Jax sucks, and David, I happen to agree with your quote. Usually, we hear more about the state of Olympic gymnastics and Simone Biles and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Simone Biles. He talks about Nadia Comaneci.
Yes, and Nadia. No. Listen, was earlier is that Bianca Belair is the Simone Biles of the WWE.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
Yes,
I love
yeah.
Simone Biles.
Right. Yeah. See, so here we go. But we're talking about this Cody Damian Priest thing. And it is a singles match. Steve has postulated that they're going to make it a stipulation that it's Damian puts up his briefcase. I mean, how much time do we have until then to do that? November 4th, I guess so.
We have a week. We have
one
next
more Monday. So
we have Monday night's Raw for that stipulation to be put in.
all right, so it's very possible because I mean it is just kind of an announced singles match with no stakes. Rey Mysterio, because the other ones are the only reason I say that is that it is conspicuous by not having some sort of stake or something on the line, because all the rest are championship matches. You've got Rey Mysterio against Logan Paul, and we've talked about that quite a bit today. I think Logan Paul's taking the win. I think that's the road they're taking, man. What do you think
agree.
there in Cat and Autumn? Yeah.
As much as I don't want it to be that, I have to agree, because you're not going to pay that money to bring Logan. I mean, it made sense when they brought Logan Paul all the way the last time when it was Roman Reigns that he wasn't going to win. Doesn't make sense to do it twice.
Yeah.
For him to lose twice on a crown jewel pay-per-view. So
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Right, because Crown. You're right. He can't lose it because he lost that one against Roman.
right. Well, we knew that was going to happen.
Well, we knew. Yeah, he's not winning the WWE championship.
But if you consistently with the exception of the Roman Reigns match, and the Royal Rumble, obviously, every other match that they have sponsored him in that he has been paid to show up, he's won.
Ricochet. Did he win that?
He beat Ricochet.
Okay. I thought he lost another match.
No.
He lost to Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah, that's true. Seth Rollins too. My bad.
But I mean, he beat Seth Rollins once, didn't he? So he had to lose to him.
He beat Seth once, and then he lost at Mania.
Yeah.
As KSI, the whole thing.
So I'm saying predominantly he's been on a winning streak.
He has a good record.
Yeah. So I mean, he's probably going to win. Roman Reigns, LA Knight. Now, see, Steve and I talked about this earlier in the show when you were still on the phone there, Cap. We were both kind of in. Steve's concerned about the putting LA Knight in this position now when he's not going to necessarily win. Like, we don't think he's going to win.
Correct.
So why do it? Like, why not have him stay away from championships until the Rumble if he's going to win the Rumble or whatever it is?
This is all because of two reasons.
Yeah.
One, he's probably going to be a hot ticket in Saudi Arabia, whether he wins or loses.
Right.
The Saudi Arabia crowd's going to love it. And 2,
Of course.
because this came out earlier on in the week, a lot of wrestlers are scheduled on the card between Raw and SmackDown before they leave for Saudi Arabia. Half the card is missing in Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
They put him in as a filler.
Oh.
There is a live SmackDown happening the night before Saudi Arabia. So half of them are gonna be in America, half of them are going to be over there.
Huh. Okay.
They didn't book that part properly.
That was stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, that is.
Autumn, go ahead.
Right.
I think LA Knight's gonna lose either way. But
He is.
Is it gonna make me cry? Yes, because I cry every time Roman Reigns wins a match. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but remember when Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns fought in the steel cage in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
I got to skip school for the pay-per-view. Mom says, you could stay home. Yeah.
It was my birthday. It was the same.
Oh, okay.
It was my actual birthday when that aired. So I didn't let her skip school just because of wrestling.
Okay.
I probably would do that, but just,
Anyways, it was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, and then Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar speared each other through the cage, and the cage fell.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, Roman went through, and he got off the cage, and therefore landed first. Like,
nope, Brock's feet landed first.
And they said Brock's feet landed first. When I tell you, I was madder than when Jon Stewart screwed
that made no sense. Okay,
No.
that was questionable.
After the show, I will tell y'all a story. That's a story for...
No, the first time I ever heard Autumn curse.
This is the first time I cussed, okay? So it was the match, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm like rooting for John Cena, because we all thought John Cena was going to win, right? And all of a sudden, I see Jon Stewart, and I said, yes! And then all of a sudden, I see the chair go to John Cena by Jon Stewart. I said, you son of a bitch!
She was in first grade. And
son of a bitch.
I said, you son of a bitch. And I got up and stormed out.
I mean, ugly tears.
Wow.
Blair Witch Project tears coming out of her face.
Y'all know that Blair Witch Project and me crying from Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that.
No.
It's the
That's
original.
hilarious.
It was fantastic.
Listen, David Roska's stating that Scarlett Boudreaux and Karrion Kross are gone.
I'm looking for that right now.
As far as I know, Scarlett is on NXT during Halloween Havoc as a host with Shotzi. So
maybe there has to be something going on with him on that show then tonight. Maybe that's what it is?
David, where are you getting your information from? Because I haven't heard that at all.
Yeah. I'm scrolling. Like as soon as I saw that comment pop up, we put it on the screen. I was like, I got to try and confirm this. If
my phone would have been blowing up. Already.
That's what I'm thinking. But we'll keep. Yeah.
He posted on X TikTok at WWE, and that was 23 hours ago prior. So probably prior to the Halloween Havoc for tonight. I'm not seeing anything.
Well, yeah, that scared me. I mean, not scared, but you know what I mean. Like, oh boy.
Because actually, I heard recently that they had some big plans for
going the other direction with him. Yeah.
So hopefully his information is not accurate.
Yeah, because they said the next batch of releases was going to be after the holidays. So we're looking for the next quarter if they're going to be doing more releases.
Well, listen, if they just released those two, that's not a big release, like a
right. But World Wrestling CC on YouTube. I don't know how the credentials on that site. So.
I mean, it's not being reported by anything else.
But I mean, hey, if that's that's something that's just come out, maybe if it's how recently was that? But I mean, anyway, as we figure out the Karrion Kross Scarlett Bordeaux mystery, unless they, we shall see here. All right, so then we have the next one we were talking about, Rhea Ripley. We had this ponderous match with Zoe Stark in it. I mean, we didn't talk about the finish. Rhea Ripley's.
She's retaining.
She has to retain this match
Rhea Ripley, I think she's retaining the title.
She has to.
That's going to be interesting to see her outfit too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait, can I tell them the joke I say about Rhea Ripley every time?
You told them that joke before.
Oh yeah, never mind. I told you my joke. Never mind.
That's all right. You can. Sometimes it's okay to reuse material.
Go ahead.
I meant to say Scarlet. Ours.
Are they?
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
No,
So okay. Ooh, oh boy.
phew. Yeah. So
Whoa.
Scarlet is hosting Halloween Havoc, and apparently I've heard from a few sources that there are some big plans for Carrion, and I hope that means he's going to start winning
Thank God.
because
Yeah.
you know. And
I'm
I'd be okay with him shaving his head too, quite honestly. Like go back to the NXT look and like look like the Hitman and just kill people.
He definitely looked more intimidating without hair. Like the hair
Yeah.
is like he's like regular guy. Like he's still a good looking guy and shaving all. He's just like regular guy. When he shaves his head, he's a psycho.
Yeah, he looks like a nutcase.
Right. And then the main, and I wanted to talk about this. We're getting towards the top of the hour. I wanted to talk about how this Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship match. They are doing the SummerSlam 92 Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior thing, where Ric Flair said that one of the guys has hired him to be his manager. Like Perfect and Ric Flair were going to interfere on behalf of one of the guys, and they kept teasing it. And then it turns out in the middle of the match that it was just a fucking ruse by the bad guys, and both guys were still baby faces, and it was just like getting their heads. And now they're doing it again with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre and the Judgment Day, teasing that one of them is joining the Judgment Day by the end of this match. I would be willing to bet neither of them join the Judgment Day by the end of this match.
Oh, I agree.
I think Drew's going to join Judgment Day.
I think we're getting a Drew heel turn for sure.
Definitely.
But I don't see him joining the Judgment Day.
I don't either.
I think he's going to join Judgment Day. And, you know, because they've been teasing a Drew heel turn, and I've been wanting a Drew heel turn.
But you don't need a heel turn for him to join the Judgment Day.
I want him to join Judgment Day because it'd make it 30 times hotter for me.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
If we just kick out Dominic and we sub in Drew.
Hey, guys, on that note, top of
Yeah.
the hour.
Smart idea. Aren't you glad I came on?
Yes. So the finish of that, Seth Rollins is retaining the title in that, right?
Yeah, I don't see Seth losing.
That's kind of how I feel about it too.
I can't see him losing at Crown Jewel
I want
either.
him to lose.
I listen.
What we want to happen and what is going to happen are two totally different things.
Yeah, I wanted Shinsuke to do it, but
that's what I wanted. And by the way, another great Shinsuke promo on Raw this week.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But here's an interesting thought that I think that I just thought of. So, if we're saying that one of them is going to join the Judgment Day, what if then with that whole thing going on, then there is that cash in by Damian Priest because they're so conflicted with each other over the fact of which one of them is joining the Judgment Day. Instead of this cash in thing being between Cody Rhodes and Damian, what if Damian actually cashes in during that match because he's setting up the two of them?
Or what if, if the stipulation does happen, what if Cody cashes in?
Cody cashing in is irrelevant.
No, I want Cody to cash in. I need Cody as champion.
But I'm saying if that's another angle though of it not being that cash in, that Damian cashes in during that match.
Oh, I see.
David Roscoe, Drew McIntyre will be a new World Heavyweight Champion against Seth Rollins. So see, we've been doing this all day with David, where we'll say something and he will have the opposite finish. So I guess we'll have to see. I just think Seth. I don't know if they didn't. It seemed like the hot hand was Shinsuke Nakamura to take this belt off of him, and now that they didn't do that, I feel like Drew. I don't know if Drew has the Riz right now to win the title. You know what I mean? I did that just to see what Autumn would do when I said that.
I think by Drew losing is what's going to officially put him over the edge. And
yeah, absolutely.
So Seth Rollins is happening.
All right.
We shall see.
We shall see.
And on that note,
yeah, Autumn, we have to see if Drew McIntyre has the Riz no cap. It's going to be bussin' when he wins that world title. Am I right?
Oh, I'll take the pictures and I'll post it on the group and post it on the War Report.
I just want to keep. I have to keep using this young person slang just to
No one uses. Okay, Riz is a stupid word, and I use it as a joke. Cap, no one has said that since 2021.
Ooh,
Bussin',
really?
Oh, that gives me
Bussin'.
I can't believe I said that for so long.
You said bussin'?
I said it. I have a video of her saying it.
That might have been the first time I've ever said that word out loud.
It's all right. You want to see her really cringe?
I have a video of her saying.
You want to see her really cringe?
Do not say it.
Moist.
Oh.
Oh wow! Oh geez! Oh, we can't get into that. We probably just lost viewers. Holy shit!
Thank you.
Yeah, man. But that'll I guess that'll do it. We got all the way to the pay-per-view. We made predictions even though we're fucking 2 weeks away, but here we are. Yeah, we'll be back next. I mean, we did our hour 9 to 10 Eastern time. This is our new start time. I think you've all figured it out. The ones who'd like to tune in live, 9 to 10 p.m. on Tuesday night Eastern time. Daylight savings is coming up. We're falling back an hour. I think you. Oh, excuse me. That's the one problem is that I might start yawning during these late shows. It really is. It's actually no. I took a nap before this and everything to try and be fresh. But yeah, it's our new start time 9 p.m. Eastern time Tuesdays. Daylight savings time, unless you're in like Arizona and they don't look, you don't do daylight savings time. Nothing changes. You're fine. Just be sure to come back. Every week. Tuesday, 9 p.m. We stream on a bunch of things. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Twitter/X streaming right now. So if you want to look up, it's on my @OSnapVince on Facebook. It's on the TagMeADate page. It is on the War Report group. Those are all live streams on Facebook. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/War Report. And then YouTube and Twitter are both TagMeADate. No spaces. It's all one word. The YouTube channel, you type TagMeADate into the search bar. It'll pop up. You hit the subscribe button, and then you hit the bell to get notified when we go live or when we upload a new video. On Twitter, you just follow us at TagMeADate, and it'll just stream. It's going to be, there's a tweet with a stream in it. Just look at it. Other social media is at TagMeADate. Everything is at TagMeADate except for Twitch, which is twitch.tv/War Report. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on a bunch of stuff at TagMeADate. Just take a look for it. Give us a follow. We appreciate it. If you prefer the audio version rather than the video streams, you can just go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Play Podcasts, and you can subscribe there. The audio of the podcast usually goes up within an hour of the stream going offline, and then it gets sent right to your device as long as you're subscribed. You can take it with you while you're driving or you're doing laundry or cooking dinner, whatever it is that you're doing that day, and you want to listen to a podcast. You don't want to listen to another fucking true crime podcast. Again, stop it. Listen to us instead. And last but not least, we thank our commenters that came in. I mean, Autumn was there anyway. Was Tara in here? I hope Tara was in. I feel like Tara made a couple comments. Hank came in. Thanks for commenting, Hank. And David, of course. We appreciate our commenters. They help the conversation to continue. Sometimes they tell us that somebody got released, and then we have to go scramble to look it up to see if they got released. Thanks, David. I'm kidding, but don't worry about it. You're good. And we just, we like commenters. So if you want to hop in the live stream comments and get your comment on the screen and get us to talk about it, please feel free. If you're listening and you like the show, tell your friends, have them subscribe. If they're wrestling fans looking for a new podcast, send them a link. Come on, help us out. The more the merrier. The more people in the comments, the more our conversation kind of flows with what's going on in the chat. And then the more people that listen and more people that stream the videos and stream the MP3s and stuff, that only helps us out too. So everything you can do to help spread the good word of the War Report will help us out. We appreciate it very much. This Saturday, listen to me on 99.1 PLR. If you're in Connecticut, I'm on from 9, or no, excuse me, I'm not on the morning shift. I'm on the news. I'm on the bigger signal. I got half of Connecticut listening to me on Saturday afternoon from 3 to 7. We're going to be playing classic rock, late 70s. And you can get it besides in Connecticut
because I listen to you on the weekend too.
So 991plr.com. 991plr.com is what I'm going on this weekend. So cool, man. We'll see you all next week. Remember, 9 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday. This is our new time. We're streaming after dark. I love it. We love it. And we hope you love it too. And we hope to see you next week, 9 p.m. for another edition of the War Report. Have a good week, everybody.